can't tell me what to say and what not to say. I can tell you what your problem is without losing a license that they didn't give me.
Yes.
They didn't give me no license, so they can't take it.
Thank you for that.
They always told you when you was a kid, get your education, because once you learn something, can't nobody take it away from you. Right? The only time that you can lose what you learn is you catch some shit like Alzheimer's and dementia. Right? When you lose everything that you, so that's why you gotta take care of yourself. Right. Don't destroy yourself because the memories and what you know is all you got. Right. That's the real value. The money ain't the value, what you know is the value. And you cannot have a stable society without stable individuals. You cannot hold the government accountable if you don't know how things are supposed to be, right? So, these are all symptoms that can be cured rather easily. We live in a patriarchy. Patriarchy means that all of the positions of power, the majority of positions of power are held by men, with very few women being in those seats. We are legally and officially under a patriarchy. That's a problem. I'm going to show you why that's a problem. Because if you want to study human behavior and assess people correctly, there is an order that things have to go in. One thing about God is that God is very ordered. God is not chaos. Even though people who live in chaos think God is chaos and they always have to pray out of the chaos. But God is not chaotic. Everything is ordered. When you look at all the things that God has created, it's very ordered. And you would know that if you study something like biology. If you study something like botany, which is under the biological sciences, you will see just how ordered life is. Study chemistry, study biochemistry, any of these things, right? So a lot of times we hear people say, oh, this person has this disorder, narcissistic personality disorder. But they ain't never told you what the order is. How you gonna label something a disorder without telling us what the actual order is? So I'm here to tell you what the order is, so that way you will know what a disorder is. The natural order of being able to analyze human behavior to determine if something is right or wrong or in the correct order or not, you have to start with biology first. Why do you start with biology first? Two reasons. Number one, if you understand life, if you understand the Creator, and this is why you have to have your hands in everything. We live in a digital age. We live in an age of computers. And how do you program a computer? You have hardware, you got software. But the software is run off of a what? A language. It all begins with language. God said, let there be light. Spoke. Everything starts with a language. And there's what is called a programming language. In computers, you have something called C++. That is a programming language. In biology, there is a programming language. A, C, T, G, right? These are all amino acids. When they're lined up in a certain way, they code for what? DNA. They code for DNA. DNA is going to tell you how a thing is wired, what genes it's express and what it's going to do. You don't have no control over that. DNA is the programming language for that. So, you got chromosomes that got DNA in there, and guess what? In these chromosomes, humans got 23 chromosomes. And that 23rd chromosome, which got DNA in it, is a sex chromosome. It's going to determine if you're male or female. You got X, and you got XY. XY, this Y does not make a male a male. You all have been told that the Y chromosome makes a male a male. That is false. There is one gene on the Y chromosome that makes a male a male. And that gene is called the SRY gene. If something goes wrong with this gene, there's a mutation on this gene, this XY person could be physically expressed as an XX. You could have a female walking around with an XY chromosome and you would never know because there's something wrong with the SRY gene where it's not producing, where it's not telling it to produce testosterone. Okay? Yes?
Question. So if that happens, does that person have female reproductive organs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is really critical, this SRY gene. But we'll come back to that. The whole point of the matter is biology is the first program. It is the program of the body. All of you have been in some form of spiritual study. In some form of spiritual study. And what have you heard? Mind, body, and soul, right? Mm-hmm. Biology is the program of the body. That is one aspect of your existence. But it's for your existence on planet Earth. In order for you to determine why and 5 must respond to environmental stimuli, must reproduce, must maintain homeostasis, must change and grow, must be multicellular. These are the 5 characteristics of life. It must follow these things to be considered a living organism. Oh, let's take, you can go to 7, but let's put this one right here. Must process energy. It must process energy. That's critical. So before you analyze any form of behavior, you better start there first. Because if you don't start there, you're automatically dealing with a disorder. You must understand that the program of the body comes first. It's body, mind, and soul. You heard mind, body, and soul. No. It's body, mind, soul. Then you got another program. Now after you get over the program of the body, which you don't have no control over, stop trying to fix what you didn't create. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Number 2, it's another program. Psychology. See, the university, they don't teach you this. They don't teach you this. They'll tell you, go take that, go take that. They don't tell you why. So the students never put this together. Never. Psychology is the program of the mind. And just like the program of the body is coded through DNA, that's the language, that's the programming language. The programming language of psychology is English, because that's the language that y'all speak. But you got to know something about English, though. English is a bastardized language. English got Greek in it. It's got Latin in it. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. So you can't just study English. You got to study other languages too, which is where etymology comes in. You need to know etymology, so you know the inception of a word. Because these words, whether you know it or not, you making up your own meaning to like words that been here forever, you ain't changing shit. You're not changing it. Those words still mean what they mean. And you are casting spells on your own life because of your ignorance. Etymology. The program of the mind is English. What does this English program? What is the software of the mind? What's the software? Philosophy. Philosophy is the software of the mind. So philosophy and psychology go hand in hand. But if you go take a psychology class, you ain't learning philosophy and psychology. Philosophy is an elective. You can choose if you want to learn it, and they don't tell you what it means. Nobody is connecting psychology and philosophy together, but they go hand in hand. You cannot have psychology without philosophy, because philosophy is what created the world that you live in. So why is philosophy a damn elective at a university?
They don't want us to.
They don't want you to know, and they know that it ain't sexy enough for you to want to do that. Well, I'm taking philosophy. Well, I'm listening to a bunch of old white men talking. Because it's these old white men that's still running this goddamn world. Even though they're dead.
Right.
Yeah. So, philosophy. What is the definition of philosophy? Right? So not only do you need to know etymology, you need to know the difference between denotation and connotation. You got to know the difference between denotation and connotation. Denotation is the actual meaning of a word. It's the actual meaning. Connotation is the feelings that the word invokes. Example. In this new generation, everybody is antsy about the word retarded. Why you disrespecting us? Why don't be disrespecting us? You can't be calling people retarded because that's just wrong. Don't call him retarded. He's just slow. He's just challenged, right? The feelings. So when people in their feelings about things, it is due to this. It's got a negative connotation. But what's the actual meaning of the word, right? Slowed in development. That's what it means, right? It is critical to use words how they were intended to be used. Because that is what programs this, not the feelings. It's a denotation that does it. Okay? And if you want to mean what you say, if you want to say what you mean and mean what you say, speak in denotation. To make sure we all on the same page, we all need to know what this word means. So one of the things that people do is they get mad and they start talking about stuff without actually defining the word before we start talking about it.
Right.
Right? Because see, when I say something like men are incapable of love, everybody in their damn feelings. Because everybody got their own connotation of what they think love is.
Right.
And they get mad. But none of them ever ask me, well, what is love? What is what definition you use? What you mean? Right? Don't you think that would cut down on a lot of confusion if everybody was taught this way? Don't you think it would be less emotionally driven people? Right?
Right.
Well, this is critical. Philosophy. A theory or attitude held by a person or organization that acts as a guiding principle
Somebody reported my live as hate
for
speech.
behavior.
Crazy.
This
I'm
is
about
why.
to end this at 7 o'clock because people are reporting the live.
This is why philosophy is critical.
Not yet.
Because it acts as the guiding principle for behavior. So now you understand why they say mind, body, and soul.
The men are
because
mad.
they always say what? Mind over matter. That's the reason why they ordered it that way. Mind, body, and soul. Because we don't give a damn about your body. We can program your mind to think you a fucking duck. We can have
It's
you walking around
6:52, so I'm about to end the live in at 7. So we have 8 more minutes.
Talking about they women. We got women out here believing that they are men. Women are holding the philosophies that men hold. And you out here don't even know what it means to be a woman because you roll on the philosophies of a man. Right? So you have patriarchy, matriarchy. You have economic structures, right? Like capitalism, right? Fascism. But you know what is interesting in here, right? These isms right here. Guess what this take you back to? Take you right on over here to philosophy. You know why? Because that's what an ism is. An ism is a philosophy. An ism and an is go together. Okay? So all of the isms are this. So if you know anything about pimps, they always say the ism is good. That's what the pimp said. Isms is good, right? Let her know it's my program, word program, that take her somewhere. So anybody want to pull out Google for a second and tell me what Google say an ism is?
You want to go live on YouTube or no?
A distinctive practice, system, or philosophy, typically a political.
It's another ex-wife that came in here to listen. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Now say that slow.
A guy just came in.
Ism, what?
Ism.
A system of philosophy.
A distinctive practice.
Distinctive.
That's the guy.
A distinctive practice.
System.
System.
Philosophy.
Or philosophy.
Typically a political
Ideology or artistic.
Oh, that's good.
Ism. A theory or a philosophy, a theory or attitude held by a person or organization that acts as the guiding principle for behavior. An ism is a philosophy, as you see right here in the definition. Oh, this is getting good. It's getting
He doesn't
good.
want to go live on
A
YouTube.
distinctive practice
Sorry, y'all.
system or philosophy. That means racism
Yes, come on.
is a distinctive practice.
Yeah.
It is not real.
It don't exist.
Yes,
Racism is not real. Prejudice is.
yes.
Prejudice is natural. Racism is not real. Racism is a philosophy that came from somewhere.
Yes.
Where did it come from? It came from somebody's mind.
Yes.
Whose mind
Yes.
did it come from?
White.
Who? Who, what, when, where, why, how? These are all critical thinking questions. The problem with people is they go through life not asking no damn questions.
Right.
None. Why are you not asking who, what, when, where, why, how? This come out of somebody's mind. Racism is a distinctive practice. It is a system. It is a philosophy. Capitalism is also a distinctive practice, system, or philosophy. Fascism, consumerism, egoism, all of these are isms that come out of somebody's mind. What is an ist? What is an ist? Look up ist. Consumerism,
A follower.
a follower. That's all I want to hear. A goddamn follower. So are you a capitalist? That means you a follower of some shit that somebody else created. Are you a racist? You are a follower of somebody else's philosophy. Ain't now one of y'all created none of these systems. None of y'all created racism. None of y'all created capitalism. None of y'all created consumerism. Y'all just mindless followers of somebody else's thinking.
Yeah.
Who's thinking? Go back over here. What system do we live in? Patriarchy. Who?
Man.
Created?
Man.
Let's go. What does the prefix patri mean? Father. But they always want to blame women. How you gonna blame women? This is man's world. This is man's world. They so bold with saying that and then want to point the finger.
Yeah.
Patri means father. Archy means a type of rule. Means a type of rule. So now we gotta go back. Whoosh. All right. Okay, we're back over here. Who are the fathers? Who are the founding fathers of philosophy?
Socrates,
Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, all